Yeah, so this is one of those videos. It's been a while. It's almost been a year since I've sat down, vlogged, or talked about my dad. Yeah, so buckle up. If you are new to the channel, I am Latoya, aka Sunshine. Some people call me Bliss, and this is Gemini approved. My channel is literally going to document my life. It's literally my story, and I'm storytelling through visuals, vlogs, different types of content that relate to my life experiences. But most importantly, this is truly a source of empowerment. We are empowered and encouraged to really let your light shine, to really tell your stories, to relate to other stories. I'm doing a lot of storytelling, not just for my life, but a lot of people that I love as well. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. Or welcome back if you are a subscriber. We are on the road to 1K, and yeah, just come be a part of the fam. So it's gonna be a sit down chit chat with you guys, and I think you'll enjoy because it's pretty fucking loaded. So let's get started. Okay, so last year, and I'm going to link the video below, I did a build up of just my story surrounding me, the anticipation of me meeting up with my father to see him in person. He was getting out of prison, and it would be the first time that I would see him in person in like over 15 years. For those of you who might not know, and that's why I encourage you to go watch that story, so that you can get the build up, the background of the relationship between my father and I. Very inconsistent. I've dealt with a lot of traumas dealing with that relationship, a lot of anger, a lot of hurt there, but that was a big step for me back in September. My sisters threw him a party. These are my siblings from my dad's side. Threw him a party. I was really going back and forth about coming, but me and him had established a little bit more consistent conversation over time while he was in prison. I wrote him years ago. He responded back, and then probably years later, you know, we ended up talking, and I would talk to him on the phone. You know, he would tell me certain things. So he loved me, you know, talk about what he, you know, wanted to be when he got out, things of that nature. So make sure to watch that video so that you are all caught up. First question, what the hell happened after me and my dad met up? So, to be honest, right after I left there, I went to my mom's house, and I just sat and like, I was emotionally exhausted. I was tired. It was so much for me to do that, to show up in that way. So I was emotionally just drained and tired. And I was very proud of myself as well. But after that, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't putting any pressure on. I'm a dreamer. I'm a Gemini. And one of the things that sometimes, oh, that's the air. Sometimes I can be in the clouds. I can be in the air sign. Very vivid daydreamer, lots of imagery and things of that nature, very real things, but I can live in a fairy tale and get away from what reality really is. And I wanted to make sure that I was very clear with myself on understanding how real this shit would be post linking up with this man who I don't even know. To be honest, I don't know my father, and I think that's a big part of my disconnection, and my disconnection with self, what it had been for a while. But we'll get to that as well. But I had to be very real with myself and like be like, Toya, this man is still in a transition. Be very honest, be very real that this very well could be what the extent of everything. You know, I was hopeful, to be honest, but I wasn't dumb. So yeah, so he got out and conversations continued. I was making sure not to put so much pressure on having like intense conversations right off the bat, because this man, he's been away from what status quo, the norm, for 10 years, okay, in prison, in and out of jail most of his life, for a certain time period. And even when he was out, we weren't connected in those ways. So I knew that as a black man here in the US, with the charges that were brought against him, there was going to be a huge transition for this man, finding himself again, getting back on his feet, working, dealing with ego, dealing with self, if he chose to do all those things. And you know, while in prison, my dad talked a lot about the church and things of that nature, and you know, yeah, so I just knew he had a journey, and it was outside of me, my siblings, and anybody else. This man had to journey. So we continued conversations. They were pretty light, pretty surface level, still trying to get to know each other a little bit more. While we met in person, he you know, he was talking about family reunions and things of that nature, and we were like, hey, like, buddy, let's enjoy this day, because we don't know what the fuck's happening outside of this. So conversations continued. Within those conversations, for me, because I'm still working, guys, this is still like I'm in real time. I'm trying to be in the present. I'm trying to not let the past dictate my choices and what I did. So for me, I still was working to remain open, to not force things, but to organically and authentically let those things happen, while I still harbored hurt feelings. There's so many conversations that I wanted to have with this man who became the role of a dad, right? Even if he wasn't ready, you know? So we had conversations. I don't think did I see him again? No, I don't think I saw him again. I haven't seen my dad since that day, to be honest. I don't think. I could be wrong. If you're one of my relatives and I have, let me know. But yeah, so conversations continue. This was in September. You know, we talked a little bit more. He would text me and things saying he loved me and things like that. And I tried my best to remain open. One day, this was me talking to my therapist, who had been with me on that journey, preparing me for the transition and making sure that I felt good about, hey, what I wanted to do. I talked with her and I was like, you know, because while all of this was happening, like, me as a black woman, it gets deep, guys. I remember having a day where my dad was out. So much shit was happening, right? And I remember going to get my dog some food. And I had a lot of anxiety around work and things of that nature. And I needed men to show up in my life. And it was things around the house and my car and things that I'm like, I don't want to fucking do. I shouldn't have to do. Where are the men in my life to show up, to come and pull up on me, show up in the ways that I need? Because I'm a pull up type queen. I'm gonna pull up, I'm gonna show up, and I'm gonna do what I say that I'm going to do. So it was one of those days, I literally went and got my dog a new bowl, some dog food from Petco. By the time I got to the front of the store, I dropped the bowl and it splattered everywhere. And I literally could cry, y'all, but I didn't. So I was just feeling so much. By the time I got home, I cried and I called. I think I talked to a few different people because I needed to really release a lot, and I was so fed up, and it came out. I was just so disappointed, and I felt in that moment, I felt fucking frustrated because so many things have taken our black men away from their families, away from their kids. And in that moment, I felt so fucking alone. And I was just angry. I was angry at my dad because I felt like he left me out here to figure this shit out on my own, to go through life on my own, to be masculine as fuck when all I want to do is be taken care of, to really be in my feminine energy. And that day I was like, oh, I have to talk to this man. I just felt so many things, and I'm entitled to feel those things and go through that process. I know now, I'll share that in a little bit, but I know differently now. I see things differently now, but in that moment, I was mad at him. I was mad at my brothers. I was mad at brothers that I've formed bonds with over the years. I was just fucking set at all fucking men. But it stemmed from that root, that source of not having that, what I deemed his job and what he was supposed to do, feeling like I didn't have it, but I always have had it. We'll get to that again. But yeah, that was my breaking point to saying, okay, I need to talk. I need to talk. I felt like my ego made me feel like that's what I deserved from him. And I wasn't backing down. The little girl in me wanted that. That's all I ever wanted, to hear certain things, to learn certain things. So it was a lot happening. So I talked to my therapist about it, about what I wanted to do. I think I talked to one of my best friends about it. I think I talked to my mom about it. Yeah. So I decided to move forward with asking if he was in the space to know, have some conversations with me. And I worked up the nerve, and I did it by phone. He let me know that he was open to having those conversations, and that I was like, okay, so let's set a date so that this is real for me and you. What works for you, got each other's schedule. He let me know that the 2 days that worked for him, and that he would give me a call once he got off of his job, and he was looking forward to it. That day came. I never got a call. Right? Never got a call. And from then, and for me, here's the trigger for myself because it's familiar, it's inconsistent, and I felt rejected. I felt rejected. I felt rejected by this person who happens to be my dad over and over. In my childhood, I've been publicly rejected from him. That is something that it took years for me to even get through a conversation without breaking down. So all of these things factored in. I was triggered. I didn't reach out to him. And I think the holiday rolled around and, he hit me up and he was like, well, I haven't heard from you. That would be his way to contact me and talk to me. And I'm like, yeah, we were supposed to talk. I kind of ran back our conversation so that he can take some accountability. He was like, you know what, that, I was supposed to, We set up another date. That date came, never heard from him. And I haven't heard from him since. So here we are in the present, and it's been almost a year. And I haven't seen nor I haven't talked to him since Christmas 2021. Yeah. So, of course, for me, this left me at a place, it left me with many thoughts, many feelings, and some decisions to make about myself, my life, and how I wanted to move forward. So for me, because I grounded myself enough going into the situation to know what I needed to get from it, and if it did end in this way that is presented right now, how would I move forward and be okay? That's important for me. I ended up having a Queens Link Up event while this was all happening, and it was virtually, and I think it was close to the holiday or something like that. But one of my big sisters put so much into perspective for me, and she dealt with some issues with a parent, and one of the things that stood out was the fact that she said I had to let go because I had given this person too much of my life. And boy, that hit me like a ton of bricks, because I dedicated so much energy and time into either hating this man, being hurt by this man, staying stuck in the abandonment and the rejection that I felt, looking to this man to give me things that he never was capable of giving me, that he might have not received as a young child, and just giving too much energy to this person. It literally consumed my life and guided my decisions and thoughts and relationships for many years. After that shit hit me, it was like, boom, nigga. No more. So that was a monumental moment in my life where things clicked and made so much sense. Now, that was a big thing. I've also had numerous conversations with one of my life partners, and she helped me put a lot in perspective as well, because she can relate to my challenges as well, and she helped me to really see beyond the veil, really see really reinforce seeing the human side of people. And I remember we were out to eat one day, and she asked me a question, and I was crying in the restaurant, which I typically do, but she asked me and it was in reference to my dad. And I can't remember, but in that conversation, there was so much healing, because, she basically, she asked me a question, and then she began to talk, and she was like, what if all he was supposed to do was to conceive you with your mom. That's probably the extent of what he was supposed to do, not actually fulfill this role. And I know many of us, we get caught up on the roles of these people, our mother and our dad, and what we feel they need to do and what they're supposed to be. And that helped me to realize, and really I have been exploring and going into depths about that role and what the weight that I put on that role. And earlier in the video, you guys heard me say, I don't know this man. I know of him. I know pieces of him. And I can see his struggle and his fight with many things, but I don't know him. I don't know the traumas that he's been dealing with since he was younger and what he never healed from. He probably never matured past a teenager. He might be still stuck in that. And if so, that's for him to deal with. He's just in a grown person's body. You get what I mean? That man was not supposed to be that father role for me. He was supposed to have that connection with my mom, have the love he experienced with my mom, make some kids out of that, me and my brother, and that's it. And connect me to my motherfucking siblings. Now that I honor that man for that. I honor him for trying when he did try. Even with all the many vices that he was dealing with and continues to deal with, I do honor that part about him. But my friend, my sister in love, she helped me to see that. And now I've explored it so much and really realized this man is a human. And who the fuck am I? Who am I to judge him? Who am I to be nasty to him? Because he is incapable of certain things. And who am I to force that man to be something that he never was supposed to be and never grew to be? He is who he is. And at the end of the day, he's a human. Take the roles out of it. He's a black man dealing with a lot of pressures, dealing with a lot of shit that I have no clue about. And guess what? Being a responsible person to some kids that you brought into this world, that ain't what he on. It ain't what he on. And that shit is harsh. And when I held on to those things and made it put so much weight on that role of the father and what I thought he was supposed to provide me, yes, I can be frustrated and I can feel. But when I look back, it's like I put the weight on that. And in an instant, my thinking and my reality changed. Because again, I was able to change the story that I was telling myself. And when I realized how simple it was for me, it has forever changed my life. Shout out to the people who never got tired of hearing my story and what I was experiencing and loving me through those times. I really appreciate it. You know who you are. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you guys for providing your thoughts and perspectives when asked and not forcing things on me. But yeah, those moments have been pivotal for me in this journey. Realizing he is but a man, but a soul in a body, and I'm grateful for the things that I have gotten from him. I look like the man. There's no denying. I wish him well. One of the things that I really want to just speak on and hopefully I hope one black man hears me. Seek counsel. Use your village and talk. Heal. Please go within, do the work. You are fighting battles that I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start. But black women, we are also we face so much scrutiny, so many hardships. We all in the black community, there are times where we feel overlooked, not heard, and we've been traumatized throughout our lives, and it has such big impacts on us. The things that they've done to position black men, it is truly a fight, and I think our fight has gone, and in our energy in the fight went to things that we didn't need it to go to, and the fight really has to be within, to be better, to be our higher selves. And I want to see black men win. I love black men. There are so many black men who are not themselves right now, who are walking around like zombies, who are not present, and it is not their faults. But I urge you to hear my plea, and know that we've always been in your corner. We are here to stand beside you. But I know my dad is one of those unhealed black men walking around letting ego. Dad is literally, I know he's one of those men that's he needs healing. And it has trickled down in the family. It is a cycle, and I know that I am here to break many cycles within my family, on my mom and my dad's side, and I'm down for the motherfucking ride. I'm up for the challenge, and this is one of those things where I am coming to terms with what really is, so that I can heal, move forward, and love in a different way, and understand people in a different way, and heal. I'm healing, my nigga. Like, it feels so good. So that has been happening while I think that's another reason why I've been to myself, so I can really think things through and really take inventory of my feelings and where I am with things, and I can really say that burden is off of me. I feel so good in this. I still have my moments, I still have my days, I am still very much so human, but those days don't feel the same anymore, and I know I'm changing because the anger has subsided greatly, and that's good for me. I'm learning more about my emotional intelligence and being more in control of my feelings, and learning more emotions than just anger, happiness, sadness, and things. It's so many other things that I've been learning to feel and process by going through this experience. But that is what's been happening post connecting with my father. That's currently where I am with things. Just so many great understandings have come from this situation. I feel like I've grown closer with myself, with my siblings. I'm just really taking what I've gained from my connection with my dad and my relationship, which really have been my siblings, my aunts and uncles, and just reciprocating the energy from them, and moving forward with my life in a way in which I don't have to hate my dad. I don't have to be angry, and I don't have to take the things that I experience with him into my relationships, and I don't have to blame everything on my father. That's big for me, y'all. It's been huge. I still love my dad. I have love for him. I think it's in a different way, but I do acknowledge that there's love there. And I'm happy with where I am with it. And I encourage anyone who might still be figuring things out to really just sit with yourself, talk with trusted people in your village, question things, question yourself, and really get to the root of things. But that's really my recap on my situation with my dad. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you took a different route in your journey with one of your parents and how things ended up with you. Drop those comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch up with y'all next video. Mwah.